68% clearance rate. But guess what? There's a lot of properties being pulled off the market before auction. Why is that? Very simple. No buyers. Why isn't there buyers? Because we are now seeing an oversupply of stock. As reported by RP Data and reports in all the media, listing volumes are at their highest ever, and we know an oversupply of listings is the enemy to capital growth. And that's great news for buyers out there watching this, because now is the greatest time I've seen in recent years to buy a property. There is plenty to pick from. And I've got to tell you that apart from cancellations running high, the amount of one bidder auctions is also running high. Gone are the days where there are 15 people bidding on a property. Yes, I know, you'll read about the one tomorrow, probably out in Moore Park, that had 15 people bidding on it. What about the other 99% that either had one bidder, two bidders, or, as I said, no bidders? 4.2 bidders per auction, 2.8 bidders actively bidding. And I've got to let you know, a preliminary clearance rate at the moment across Australia on a Saturday arvo, 68%. Don't fall for the bullshit totally, but with clearance rates, because often clearance rates do not include cancelled ones that don't go ahead. If you're watching this video, please press the share button now. Let everyone know what Manila looks like. So team, another big cheer, everyone. I just did a big cheer. They cheer for everything now. They cheer waking up, they cheer sharing, they cheer at lunch. So what are you going to do in this marketplace to not just survive, but thrive with so much stock? Well, number one, you've got to make sure that you're not doing the number one mistake agents are doing at the moment in Australia and New Zealand. They're protecting price. The market's the market, team. Stop sitting there thinking, oh, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I've got to say to you, listen to me carefully. You need to go off and relist your current properties, because if you did an appraisal on it in June when the market was different, and you listed it in August when the market was different, and you're now in September and it's not happening, you got to sit with your vendor and say, hey, listen, we need to start again. Pretend I'm relisting this property and I want to use comparable sales from the last 4 weeks, not the last 4 months. Things have changed. In addition to that, the second biggest mistake real estate agents are doing now is they're not using a deadline date, whether it's auction or some sort of method of sale that says by this date we want an answer, because otherwise they just stay on the market, right? And I know what people say, oh, it'll sell, it'll stay on the market. Listen, the longer it stays on the market, the cheaper it gets. Milk and bread doesn't get dearer at Woolworths and Coles the longer it stays on the shelf. It gets cheaper as it gets close to its expiry date. So I say what you want to do is try and have deals done even in this market in 30 days. And of course, the last thing is, no longer have we got fear of missing out driving our market. Unless, of course, you're in Perth, where it's absolutely booming. Whether you are in Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, anywhere in New Zealand right now, you've got to get super close with the buyer. You got to be talking to the buyer prior to auction. You got to have pre-auction buyer meetings, not just pre-auction vendor meetings. You got to ring up the buyer on Saturday morning and confirm you're going to be at the auction, because I'm seeing it every weekend. People are saying, hold off, the buyer's not here, the buyer's not here. It's 2 o'clock. At 2:10, the buyer's not here, the buyer's not here. At 2:15, I'll say to the agent, what are we doing? Can we start? We're 15 minutes over. He goes, no, the buyer's not here. The buyer never shows up. You'd have this problem rectified if you spoke to them on a Saturday morning. But team, that is enough said. I know that many of you now are into footy. It's semi-final seasons. Good luck to your team. Let's make it 1/3 big cheer. I want the Wingman name scream really loud, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wingman! Guys, signing off. And as I said to my videographer, Soham, the comeback's always bigger than the setback.